welcome to another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Marco, with my lovely co-host,
Jessica.
How's it going, Jessica?
It's going.
So, Jessica.
Marco.
Oh, I know. This week, you got your first round of the COVID vaccine.
I did.
Tell us, because so many of our friends have been saying all sorts of comments when it comes to the COVID vaccine. Have you grown a third arm?
No.
Or a third nipple?
No.
Third testicle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Third
Watch
ear?
out for that. No.
I know. Well, one of my questions is, why is it when you get a vaccine that everyone thinks you're going to grow a third of something? Not a second nose.
I don't know.
I don't know. Not a second mouth, second nose. It's always a third something, a third eyeball. What's the deal with this whole 3 thing?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that my vaccine came with some 5G. So I've got that now.
Okay. Sure. Anyway, kudos to you.
Look, it's a shot. It hurts like the flu shot. My arm feels like everybody was like, oh, it feels like a tetanus shot. It feels like a tetanus shot. Which, if you've had a tetanus shot, you know that hurts. And
Is your arm sore for several days afterwards like a tetanus shot?
My arm is sore like after a flu shot. So it's a little bit achy right in the puncture area. It's a little bit like,
but it's not like when you get
sore.
a tetanus booster where like that whole portion of your arm just
like seizes up and you
seizes
can't do
up.
anything.
It's like, yeah, it gets tough and hardened.
Yeah, no, I'm not experiencing that, but I know some other people that have experienced that. So it's definitely a thing, just not for me, thank goodness. So it was really easy. I went in. I'm considered an essential worker through my
Employment.
job. Yeah, from my employment. We're essential. So, and we're part of healthcare. So we were able to all get vaccinated if we chose to be. We had to take a little form to one of the vaccination sites, and we had to register for it. And then you go in at your appropriate time and say, I'm here for a shot. And they say, great.
Roll up your sleeve and we're going to stab you.
Yeah, actually, you walk into this big room and they've got like 12 vaccination areas all set up. And the nurse asks you a couple of questions like, are you allergic to such and such chemical? Or have you ever had a reaction to a shot? And then if you say no to that, she's like, okay, roll up your sleeve. And then here's your little jabby jab. And really, I didn't even feel it. It was fine.
Do you get a cookie afterwards, like when you give blood?
No, but they do make you sit for 15 minutes, like after you give blood. Just no cookies, because COVID can't be eaten with people.
If they're prepackaged?
You need to wear a mask.
Oh, that's all right.
And then while you're waiting during that 15-minute block, there are some people coming around with tablets that go ahead and schedule you for your second follow-up shot.
Sweet.
Because it's a 2-shot series. So
yeah,
so I'll get my next one
in
February, and that's exciting.
I'm jealous because I don't work in Indiana, and I'm not considered an essential worker in Indiana.
Sorry, love. But I'm getting it, so that's exciting. Then we won't have to be worried about like, oh no.
About you.
I'll be exposed at work. So yeah, that'll be good. I am a little concerned about shot number 2 because there's been lots of reports of people having like flu-like symptoms for about, 12 hours or so after getting that one.
Well, don't get it on a Friday because it's going to ruin your weekend.
I'm actually getting it on a Thursday.
There you go. 3-day weekend.
I'm pretty excited to get it though. So
well, cheers to you and your Rona vaccine.
Thanks.
Round 1. And as we're cheersing, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a mudslide.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Mudslides are usually pretty high in sugar, though.
This one is not. This is a low-carb mudslide.
Ooh. What's in it?
We're going to get into that a little bit later.
Ooh.
What are you drinking?
Yours
is interesting.
Mine is interesting. Mine's actually a 2-parter.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm drinking the Breakfast Bell.
All right. That sounds pretty.
Yeah. So I've got
I do have questions about one part of it, though.
Oh, the Collins glass with the big frothy
head? Nope,
head?
that's not the one that I have questions about.
Oh, the shot glass with the egg yolk and well, actually, I just put a little bit of everything but the bagel and then a shot of sriracha in there.
That, honest to God, looks like a clown all mixed up in a tiny cup to me. Like, that's all I see when I look at that is some sort of...
It looks like a weird, like,
screwed
eyeball,
up clown.
too.
Yeah, with an eyeball.
Eyeball in there?
Yep.
Well, cheers to that. I'm going to try that right now.
Wait!
Oh, got to get the camera out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go.
A picture of this nastiness. Oh, gross.
It's actually good.
It is. What does it taste like?
Well, at the moment, I'm getting the sriracha because it hit my tongue in one big blob.
Should have stirred it up.
No.
Ew.
I mean, it's the yolkiness of a like a fried egg that
Of
you
a
leave.
yolk?
Yeah, of a fried egg though, but it's cold. And then the just everything but the bagel gives me some sesame seeds and
A little
the
bit of
pepper and celery salt and everything in there. A little bit of what? Dried onion too.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that in there.
But then there's sriracha with heat, and I mean, it's like almost like having like a hard boiled egg in the center. Only you don't get that texture thing because it's creamy.
No, thank you.
I'm not gonna make it a regular thing.
Okay.
But the rest of my drink, let me have a sip of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that hits the spot. I actually thought about doing the whole thing like a depth charge, where you just take the shot glass and dump it in the tall glass. But I'm like, splashing electronics. Didn't want to do that. Woo, and a little bit of zip and fire because there's some sriracha in the main drink too. Anyway, we'll get to all of that in a little bit. But before we dive into this whole episode and the title for this episode, we have several contenders for what we're going to call this episode. I mean, the main feature tonight is going to be low carb coffee cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a variety that we got to work on. I mean, we call this thing Wired for the Weekend. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Kind of like that one.
The Right Blend.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Side. Rise and Grind.
I liked Wired for the Weekend and Hello Darkness, my old friend.
Or we could just be boring and say low carb coffee cocktails.
That's no fun. You want to suck the people in.
No comment. Well, you know who we don't want to suck in?
No.
Any of our younger listeners.
Them. Yeah, this is not for you.
No. If you are one of my runners who is listening, which I don't think they're listening. If you're one of my hockey players, which I really don't think any of them are listening.
They're too little.
Most of them are too little. Although Kid One's one of my hockey players, and she listens to us when she's on. And she's like not shy about it. Yeah, if you guys do something fun related to me, or if I'm on, I definitely download and listen. And when you do some of those other topics, it's like she doesn't want to listen to her parents.
I don't blame her. She listens to us all the time.
Anyway, if you
to be
are,
fair, we listen to her too.
This is one of our cocktail recipe, cocktail episodes. So if you are not of legal drinking age, go listen to one of our other episodes. This is not for you. Hand this one over to your parents because they could use a drink. If they have kids, they definitely could use a drink. This is definitely like kick back, relax. We like coffee. We like cocktails. We like low carb stuff. So it's perfect for us.
Is this going to wake me up at like 4 o'clock in the morning?
It shouldn't, but I don't know because you're weird.
It's true.
But I like that you're weird. And that's why I married you.
Neat.
Yeah. Before we get to the cocktails, as we enjoy our cocktails, how was your week?
My week was...
Aside from the stabbing in your arm.
My week was pretty good. You know, working on behaviors with little kids. It's always wildly entertaining. I have lots of fun stories that I can't share with any of you.
No, ethics.
Yes, ethics are very important. But it was...
HIPAA, all that.
It was a very fun week for me. Because got to do some fun things at work. I'm sorry, that sounds boring.
How about intellectually stimulating?
For sure.
And very reinforcing at a professional level.
Yep. It was definitely all of that.
You got the warm fuzzies, as we like to say in the field.
I got so many warm fuzzies. So many warm fuzzies.
It made your heart happy.
It did. Yep. A lot of really good things happened this past week. I got a lot of really good feedback about a thing that was really important to me at work. And that was a big deal. We can just move on if you're going to be this vague, though. I'm sorry.
It's like what was it? The Analyze This. You know, the guy with the thing. Yeah. Where you got Billy Crystal trying to pretend to be a mobster. You know, the guy with the thing. See the guy with the thing? Ooh-ah.
That movie's so funny. No, it was good. But my favorite part of the week is actually every day. It happens every single night when I come home. I open the door and kid number 4 screams. She says, "Mommy!" And she comes running with her arms over her head straight at me when I walk through the mudroom door. And she wraps her little arms around my leg and squeezes really tight. And she says, "I missed you today while you went to work." I said, I miss you too.
Every day. And then some
Every
of those
day.
days
It's so
she
nice.
starts piling on the Italian guilt trip.
Oh, she does that every day.
No, okay.
She did it tonight while we were laying on the couch. She said, I didn't like that you went to work today, Mommy. I said, I know. And she said, do you have to go to...
I'll bleep out her name.
Oops. I said, she said, do you have to go to work tomorrow? And I said, no, because it's Saturday tomorrow. And she said, yay, Mommy all day. And that is super sweet. And she just turned 4. And I know that by the time she hits 4.5, all of this very lovely behavior is going to go away because she'll have other things that she's way more interested in by then. So I am soaking it all in.
Well, and by then
while I
she'll
can.
be deeply into the Q4s.
Q4s. They're coming.
They're coming.
They reared their head tonight.
Yeah. Parents of children, for the most part, will be familiar with the Q4s unless your oldest is like 3 or younger.
Yeah, then you don't know about the Q4s.
You've heard all about the terrible twos. And what are the three?
Three-nagers.
The three-nagers. But and then you think, okay, we survived the terrible twos. We survived our three-nager. They turned 4 and we're in the clear. And like, no. It's the Q4s. It's time to rebel. It's time to I got this. I know everything. Listen, old person.
Yeah.
It's kind of like okay, boomer. Well, now it's like, what are we?
I don't know what we are.
Okay, 80s children.
Yes, that's what we are. We're 80s children.
We're people from the 19s.
Actually,
I'm 4. I've got it all figured out.
We're zennials is what we are.
Whatever.
We're right in between millennials and...
Generation Z.
Yeah.
What?
X. Y? I don't know. We're zennials. That's the point.
The alphabet people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, 4-year-olds. They've got it all figured out. They know everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be the Q4s. And we know we're heading into that. A whole year of it. Yay! What could top 2020?
Q4s.
2021 with the Q4s.
Yes.
I've got so much bleeping to do tonight.
You do. And that's all your fault because
Yeah.
you started it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so that we've got Q4s. Just a reminder that if you aren't of legal drinking age, don't be listening to this episode, especially since we're dropping F-bombs all over the place, even in case I don't bleep them all. Anything else exciting this week?
I found my cheekbones.
Were they where you last saw them? Where you left them?
I found them on my face.
Okay.
I'm pretty
That's a
excited
good place for them, unless
because-
you're talking about the other cheeks.
I can see them again. And I'm pretty excited about that.
You have great cheekbones, so you should be.
I know. But the point is that I
Are
can
you
look
gonna
in the
say,
mirror.
I know. I'm quite attached
and
to them.
look, I can see them again. There's like a line on my face
Yep.
where they are. It's a really big deal because
Yep.
that hasn't been there for a while. So, yay me.
Yay, you.
It's non-scale victory. It's a big deal.
Woot.
So, do you have any news? How was your week?
My week was, I don't know. My week was weird. I mean, there was good, there was bad, up and down, and there's some, curveballs that got thrown in where the schedule went all over the place, but still on track with my exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Still hitting the step goal every day. Still have had a workout in, at least one workout in every day at a high level. Weight's coming down, been good on my diet. So that's all succeeding, even with the chaos, with the unexpected, with the drop everything and do this. It's been fun getting to coach hockey and work with the various age groups. That's been fun. And the fact of being on the ice, and restrictions are starting to lift in Michigan.
Hooray!
League hockey, organized hockey cannot happen until February.
But
we can do
we're halfway
clinics.
there.
We can get on the ice. We can put our skates on. And so that kind of stuff is exciting
Cool.
and fun, and getting to work with my
you
kids
still have to wear a mask when you play hockey right now?
Yeah.
That's good.
when we're out on the ice,
Mm-hmm.
in the rink and in the building.
Yeah.
So some of the coaches are having difficulty because they don't have the voice. And through teaching, because I used to hate using microphones, so I would just go, can you just hear my voice in the back? And when I would give presentations at scientific and academic conferences, just like I'd drop the mic. Not that kind of drop the mic. I would just set it down and go, I'm just going to use my lecture voice, and raise your hand in the back if you can't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
And then through coaching with cross country this past fall, wearing a mask and having to get loud, being out on the ice and, having to be loud with the kids out there,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine.
Cool.
And then, of course, I've got my kids, so when we're in the car, I'm like, can you guys hear me? They're like, yeah, we can hear you. We can't hear half the other coaches, but we can hear you. It's like, great. Well, at least I can, like, say what the other ones say and, like, echo it for them.
That's funny.
So that part's been fun. And then we get to the end of the week, and I guess we're, with all the announcements out of the state, the athletic director at the school I've been coaching at, I guess has moved on to spring sports, because all of a sudden a barrage of emails came in all related to track, which is something that, for those of you who regularly listen to the podcast know, I've been coaching at my alma mater, and it's also where the kids were attending up until August, and we switched schools. And at that point, we decided we would take this one season at a time. Plus, they had shut down cross country, but then they reinstated it, and I went back and I coached, and that season ended, and I wanted just kind of the dust to settle, take a breath. And then you and I, for probably the last month, there's been repeated discussions on, do we do this again? Do I go back for track? And there's been some nights where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And you're like, no, don't. And there's other nights where I'm like, I think I'm done. After all that we went through and the way the kids were treated and everything, don't really care about how they treat me, but like my own children, that really hurt. Where I'm like, I'm done. And you're like, are you sure? Maybe you should go back. So it's been a lot of back and forth on both sides of us. But tonight it was one. He's like, well, they need a new middle school coach. So he's like, hey, earlier they had asked, who would you consider? And I'm like, well, here's my list of 4 people and why. And he's went through a couple candidates. He's like, all right, next candidate, you contact them. I'm like, isn't that your job? I mean, you're the one like on salary at the school. I'm just occasionally get a contract when there's a season to really as a stipend almost to cover gas money and whatnot. But I'll have to contact that guy who's actually one of my former runners. See if he wants to be the middle school coach. But then after that, also in came, oh, by the way, open this, print this off and sign it and send it back to me. I'm like, oh, there's the contract for the track season.
Decision time.
They didn't like, all right, it's decision time. And, the past month it's been yes, no, back and forth. Both of us going, do we do it again? And so I think by the end of the weekend, they'll get the official response, which will be before this episode posts, but not much before. But I think, looking at it, there's a lot of pluses and minuses. The reason I took the job, the main reason was one reason was to get back, but I think the main reason all these years was to keep the program, the running programs, the track team, the cross country program around so that our kids had the option of doing it when they get to high school. Well, they're not at that school, and It doesn't look like they're going back.
I don't think so. We're pretty happy with our new school.
So, okay, now here's a program that I've built up that really had, it's had moments of greatness over the years. It's up and down, and it was definitely down when I inherited the program. I've built it back up. They're in great shape. They've got a great freshman class. The cross country team, that core group are freshmen, so they are set for several years of going to state. They got a middle school program built up. Track's got a middle school program built up. That program is in great shape. It's in much better shape than what I found it in.
Yep.
I got them through COVID. I got them through all the hard times. So I feel like I can walk away with my head held high. And, we ended on a trip to state. There are, we've talked about it. They feel like an extended set of kids to us. So I don't really want to leave them. I don't really want to leave the program. I definitely don't want to leave coaching. But then we got to factor in with scheduling. And you working down in Indiana, that cuts into how much extracurriculars our kids can do.
Yep, it does.
And our kids are all playing hockey. And I'm coaching hockey. And with COVID pushing the winter seasons, I'm going to be coaching, when track season officially starts, I'm still going to be coaching hockey. So then that becomes a scheduling issue.
Yeah, and it's not like I can leave work early to come take our kids to hockey. Like, that's not an option.
No. And, and on some of the teams I'm coaching on, there's 2 or 3 coaches, and I'm just one of the assistants. One of the teams, I am the coach.
Which team?
Kid 3s.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's funny. Weird. Okay.
I think the biggest factor, though, really comes into the way the kids were treated in the fall. To be clear, it was not by the high school cross-country families.
Nope.
Those families, those parents, those runners went out of their way to be kind and sweet to my children. When I was running meets, when I was running practices and my kids were there, the high school parents would come over. They would talk to the kids. They'd keep them company. If kid 4 was having a hard time, they'd help her out. Or they'd send another one over to let me know and say, hey, she was a little upset. We gave her a treat. We gave her treats. I hope you don't mind. They were so incredibly sweet to the kids. But I can't say the same for the broader school community. I can't say the same for all the parents. Some were just, some weren't even associated with my team other than they sent kids out of school. And they were rotten to my family and made my kids feel, lower than dirt. And, I think that's where we're at is I'm not going to put my children through that again.
No, our kids don't need to be called dirty by people anymore.
No.
So I've reached my limit with people.
So as much as I absolutely love working with the group of kids in the team I've put together, I think it's time to walk away.
I agree.
And just the more we sat on this, it really came down to I love my team. I love the kids. Their parents are up at the high school level are great.
Mm-hmm.
But it came down to our children, and it would mean another season of sacrificing some of their activities, but more importantly, putting them through just the harassment, the passive aggressive, the somewhat outwardly aggressive, and nasty comments they would have to tolerate and keep the, stiff upper lip, keep their chin up, to be stoic, to be professional, because when you're the coach, you can't just go tit for tat with these people. Sign on for is the beating. And I can do that, but my children shouldn't have to. And it's kind of despicable that adults were taking pot shots at my children.
Yep. Sometimes
to my children's faces.
Yep.
And
it's a really good thing that I wasn't there to witness any of that.
It's despicable since it's a Christian school, it's a Catholic school, and that totally doesn't match the values, yet some of these are the holier than thou holy rollers in the community, where it's like, wow, those values just don't match up. And we've discussed too that some of the people that there's no easy answer here, and some will see it as, well, now we're punishing the good athletes on the team.
No,
they're losing the coach because of it.
They'll find a new coach and they'll be just fine.
They will, and I can see that it's a negative for them, but ultimately I think we got to do what's right for our family.
Yeah.
And I wish nothing for the best for my athletes, and if they need me as a resource, they know how to get a hold of me and how to reach out to me. And I'm always going to be there for them. I'm going to be in their corner, but I won't be their coach for the upcoming season or any of the upcoming seasons, unless they decide to come out and play hockey.
There we go.
Yeah. So that's that. And I'll still provide coaching advice through our podcast, along with cocktail recipes and for their parents.
Yum, yum.
Yum, yum. And
Yum,
other
yum.
stuff. And I'll still have coaching stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was 6 years of almost year-round coaching of track, cross-country, summer racing club, and winter skills work.
I'm pretty excited about this because I know that sometimes towards the end of the summer, there are things that you and I want to go and do. Not during COVID times, obviously, but we wanted to go on little side trips for the weekend, and we haven't been able to do some of those because there would be an early cross-country meet, or there would be practices, and you can't miss practices. I think
almost every anniversary for the past 6 years, I've had a cross-country meet or practice. We're usually running the dunes on our anniversary.
Yeah, the Jimmy Buffett run.
Well, how about just for the last 6 years, almost all of your birthdays, I've either been at a cross-country or at a track meet, or you've had to come with me to a track meet or whatnot. And then there's some early summer races we've wanted to do or trips we wanted to do and we couldn't do. There's been some spring hockey tournaments, charity ones, various ones for cancer charities or other charities, other autism charities that I've wanted to do. that I can't because I've got a commitment to coaching.
Yep. So this will be,
There's
honestly,
a
I'm pretty excited about
triathlon
it.
I've wanted to do in the upper part of the Lower Peninsula that it's always the week after the state finals, and usually by then I'm wiped out and just like, oh. So now it's like, okay. And now this year I might not do it because COVID. But it does open up the schedule more. The kids will see more of me, and it'll be less of basically hiding in the car to hide from people who are being nasty to them.
Especially during track season. Track meets are really long. Like cross country is kind of cool because everybody runs. There's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 heats or something. Usually you've got the boys varsity and the girls varsity and then the middle school, or sometimes they break middle school apart too. So it's like maybe 4 heats at most, and then you're just done. And then you can go home and it's like maybe 2 hours. Track meets are ridiculously long. They just are.
I know.
It's a lot.
Brace yourself because kid 1 says that she might be going out for track this year. Crickets.
I don't. Are you serious?
She has said that. Like, really? You aren't doing any running right now?
She doesn't run. Like, we
ran all summer and she was ready for cross country, but I don't know. I don't know if she's going to do it or not. That is what she said.
Okay.
So might not be, but it's middle school track, so it's not the other way. And they can only do a max of 3 events, and there's not as many meets.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, whatever. If she wants to do it, she can do it.
Yep. But I guess that's that. And like through this, we actually asked the kids a few times, what do you think if Dad stepped away from coaching at that other school? And I got everything from excited because they wouldn't have to go back and deal with people being nasty to them, but also, well, that's what, it's hard for them to understand the other things I do professionally, but that they can wrap their mind around. And that they can see it's more than
they see you in action doing it.
You see in action versus Dad sitting on a
thing.
computer or Dad going and closing his office door and doing stuff. For 2 of them, like kid 1 and 2 remember life before we moved to Michigan. They remember other things Dad used to do. Kid 3 moved here. He was 1.
1.5.
1.5. So, and I started coaching a few months after we moved here. So pretty much as long as he can remember, Dad's been the track and cross country coach.
Yeah.
And for kid 4, I mean, she was 2 months old when I started taking her to practice with me. We've got pictures.
I don't know. She was itty bitty.
I remember
that cute little picture.
I think she was 2 months old, and I had
school seal.
Yes, but
all pudgy and cute.
Well, that was cross country during track after she was born. She's got a winter birthday. She was about 2 months old, 3 months old, and I had her in one arm while I was running the weight circuit for the team because we do circuit training, and so 60 seconds per station. And she just was great. She passed out. She woke up. She was looking what's going on. And then there's another picture I have where she was in the baby Bjorn strapped to my chest, and I'm out at the track. And we're out there. We've got 3 teams out there, actually 4 teams. We have our varsity, our middle school, and we're practicing at the public high school. So they have their varsity and their JV all on the track, and she's out cold. And she's got her big floppy hat on. She's just hanging there. The coaches from the other school, because we're just like, really, Mr. Dad? Like, look, my wife's got the other ones because she had to take them to hockey. As I love it.
I was like, where was I where you had to take the baby?
But
not the other one.
You were taking the other 3 to hockey.
That makes
I was out coaching, just walking around the infield, coaching, pointing, running stopwatches and timing apps with a baby strapped to me.
I mean, it's not hard. They just sit there.
She was
babies
quiet.
are great.
So her whole life I've been coaching, and she's been coming to these things, and it's just part of life. So it's going to be weird for them because they were both kind of like, they didn't want to go anymore. It's just people were being mean to them. But at the same time, they didn't want Dad to give it up because they know I love coaching. But, yeah, something's got to give. So that's where we're at.
I think it's going to be good. I'm pretty excited.
I think so. I
really am.
I think a few kids are going to be brokenhearted. Some of their parents will be brokenhearted. But I also know some of the people who are just nasty to us will probably be thrilled that we're gone.
Great. Then we're completely
gone. Which is
gone.
so weird because it's people who weren't on the team.
There's tiny town politics at play here.
Moving on. You know what? You know where they love us? At the rink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of...
And it's cookie season.
It is cookie season
Kid number
Girl
1 is
Scouts.
a Girl Scout, and it is cookie season, everyone. So if you know a Girl Scout, hit them up for cookies. It's a really big deal, especially this year, because we're doing cookie sales, but we are not doing cookie booths because COVID.
And if you have a local ice rink, support that local ice rink.
Yeah, that too.
Do a cookie booth at the local ice
No,
rink.
you can't do a cookie booth.
Fine. Take some cookies to
No,
your
you
local.
can't do that either.
Take some cookies to your local rink owner and just give them as a gift, saying thank you for owning this.
Yeah, you could totally do that.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
All right. We've been talking about this for far too long for our intro. So cheers
My
one more.
drink is mostly gone.
Oh my God. Well, cheers one more time. I'm probably gonna need something else to wash down the sriracha in this.
Oh, that one almost sounded good.
Almost. To our main feature, low carb coffee cocktails. You and I embrace the low carb diet. That's just our thing. Of course, always consult with your physician and health professionals and all of that. But if you are doing the low carb diet, any of the various low carb diets out there, there's keto, there's Atkins, there's paleo, there's Whole30, on down the list. If you're looking for recipes for low carb cocktails that have coffee in them, this is the episode for you if you survived our intro and talking about our lives. So we've got 10 low carb coffee cocktails that we're going to run through. And then when we're done with all that, we of course will give shout out to all our Red Arrow Challenge champions.
Yay.
So Jessica, why don't you jump off with the first one, which is both can be considered a cocktail and is also an ingredient in a bunch of our other recipes.
Number 1 is low carb coffee liqueur. To make it, you need 2 cups of cold brew or cold coffee, 1.5 cups of rum or vodka.
By the way, cold coffee is easy if you have kids because it's make some coffee, and then when you
And then
remember
you
2
have
hours
to
later
deal
that you
with
had
your kids.
Yeah, and when you remember 2 hours later that I made some coffee,
Woo!
it's already cold.
Yep. 1 vanilla bean, halved lengthwise, and 1.5 cups of sugar-free simple syrup. Wow, that's kind of a lot. Really?
What?
1.5 cups of sugar.
Because you're making a whole bunch.
All right. And 1.5 cups of sugar-free simple syrup. So you're going to take everything and put it into a glass container, seal, mix, store in the fridge for 3 to 4 days.
So like a mason jar.
Yeah, mason jars are the best. Or you can skip the vanilla.
Vanilla.
You can skip the vanilla bean and use 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract to use the same day instead of waiting 3 to 4
Didn't
days.
my parents used to have a cat named Noki, and my nephew used to call it Banoki?
They absolutely did have a cat named Noki, and he called it Banoki, and I still think it's one of the cutest things he's ever said. And he was insistent. I tried to teach him, no, it's Noki. Noki. And he was like, it's Banoki, Jessica. Banoki.
And now he's a college graduate.
No, that was
Oh, okay, never mind. Basically, though, that is not the Noki and Banoki part, but
Banoki.
the low carb coffee liqueur is basically low carb Kahlua.
Yummy.
Yeah. So anything you were going to use,
Is it in my drink that I'm drinking right
it
now?
is in your drink, and it's in a lot of other drinks. And anything you use Kahlua for, you can use this. And that's why you're making so much of it and storing it in a mason jar in the fridge. And how does this taste, since you just gave away that it's an ingredient in your cocktail you're drinking right now? How does it taste?
It's not a secret. It's delicious.
Does it taste like Kahlua?
Yeah, actually, it's pretty close.
Cool.
So it's good.
I probably should have used stronger coffee when I made today, but really I just used
No.
Caribou coffee K-Cup that we had with the Keurig.
I'm okay with it not being super
And I
strong.
threw it in a mason jar in the fridge and let it get really cold, and then I mixed it all up.
I think it's, honestly, for me, it's just right. I don't need super strong dark coffee tasting anything. That's just not.
You're the girl that likes
It's not
French
for me.
roast, which is dark
And
roast.
what do I put in my French roast?
A whole bunch of cream.
I put a whole bunch of heavy whipping cream and a little splash of caramel sugar-free syrup in there. So it doesn't, it's great.
Let's just move on to the next
Okay.
drink.
What do we have for the next drink?
Well, for the next, and I tried to keep...
I'm sorry.
For the next one, we're still using the low-carb coffee liqueur that you just made. 1 ounce of it to be exact. And then 2 ounces of silver tequila. And when you put those together, You have a Brave Bull. It's a low-carb Brave Bull.
Okay.
To make this, you fill a rocks glass with ice, you add the tequila and the coffee and stir, the coffee liqueur and stir, and that's it.
Awesome.
Super simple, super easy.
And it's got tequila in it. So
I don't know what else to say about that.
If you hate it, it's got tequila in it and you won't be sad for long.
Just have a few more. You'll be wide awake and feeling no pain.
Yep, that's right.
All right. Jessica, the next one we have on the list, yet again, has the low-carb coffee liqueur. I tried it when I organized this list. I tried to keep all the ones that had that close together. So
Smart.
if you're going like, okay, that low-carb coffee liqueur is not for me, are these all going to have that in it? No. But the first few are. Jessica, number 3.
Number 3 is called Casanova.
Ooh la la.
I really like this name. It's super fun. Okay, so Casanova consists of 1.5 ounces of bourbon, 1 ounce of heavy cream, 3/4 of an ounce of dry red wine, and 3/4 of an ounce of low-carb coffee liqueur. So you're going to fill your shaker with everything plus ice, shake, strain, and drink. Yum.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, it is really easy, and it's good. And it's fun to say, Casanova. Maybe you could drink them and watch old black and white movies.
That's Casablanca.
No, Casanova was an actor.
Casanova was a lover.
And an actor. He haunts Hollywood. Mm-hmm.
Was it the guy that played Casanova?
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, that guy's name was Valentino. You have to get rid of all of this.
No.
Because it's
This is
terrible.
priceless. Casanova is a famed mythical
Oh my God,
lover
I'm such an idiot.
all through Europe.
Hold on.
Supposedly he was Italian.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That needs to be deleted.
Oh, I'm not deleting the whole episode, Jessica. It's a cocktail.
Heath Ledger played Casanova.
Yes, he did. So did a bunch of other people.
Okay, well, IMDb is only giving me like stuff from 2000 or later, so that's not good,
Can we just move on,
I guess.
please? Let's jump to number 4.
Yeah, number 4.
Number 4 on our list is the mudslide. It's what you're drinking. How is it?
It's so good. So good. It'll make you really happy. Mm-hmm.
And does this low carb version taste like the normal mudslides?
Honest to God, it tastes awesome. It really does. It doesn't have that fake sugary taste. I was worried it was going to have that, and it doesn't. It's very close to an actual mudslide.
This one's really, really simple. So you take and actually I made you a double. So I'm going to...
Oh, that explains a lot right now. Jesus.
So I'm going to read this off in the quantities that I made for you. And it can either be for 2 people or 1 Jessica.
1 Jessica. That's hilarious.
1 cup of ice, 3 ounces of low carb coffee liqueur, 2 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces of heavy cream, 1 ounce of whiskey, we used Woodford, and 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. So this is like baker's chocolate.
Yeah.
Put everything in the blender, put it on blend,
Make
puree,
a lot of noise.
smoothie, whatever your setting is.
Kid number 4 will appear and yell at you.
Yeah. Put it in a glass, and then in Jessica's case, put a straw in it too, and call it good.
Mm-hmm.
And then spend several minutes talking about Casanova. Last part's optional.
Yes.
You know what, though? Every time we make these, what it reminds me of is the Bahamas. We were down in the shark diving in the Bahamas, oh, God, over 20 years ago.
You're old.
Yeah, I'm old. And by we, not you.
I know. I wasn't invited.
You weren't invited, but we went shark diving, and it's because my brother got some bad grades in 5th grade, and he's just like, my dad's like, what do you have to say?
Oops, poops, -11.
Well, that was on a specific spelling test, and he's like, oops, and my dad's like, oops, poops, it's -11. There was only 20 words on there. But anyway, he had some bad grades, so my dad challenged him and said, hey, go through all of middle, or it might have been 6th grade, all of middle school and all of high school, no A minuses, no B's and nothing, just A's, full-blown A's all the way through. And if you do that, we'll go shark diving. And they wrote up a little contract, and my brother saved it. My dad pretty much forgot about it. Well, senior year rolls around for my little brother, and he's like, "Hey, Dad." I'm sure my dad was thinking, "Oh, crap." But my dad honored it. He went all of middle school, all of high school, 4.0. Some of the teachers were sad they could only give him an A because he had well over 100% because he would have 100% and then do the extra credit. So I got to tag along. We went shark diving down in the Bahamas, and while there, I had some mudslides to help deal with jellyfish stings, and
you got stung
sun.
by jellyfish on that dive?
Yeah,
That's
I went
impressive.
out one of the dives that when we weren't shark diving. One of the dives my brother and I did, we had the little underwater scooter things, which looks like a little torpedo with handles, and so we're there, and you steer it with your shoulders, and all of a sudden there's just this massive cloud of jellyfish, and we're trying to steer, turn, dive under it, and get around them. And I ended up going right through it. So like I got stung all over the face and then on top of sunburn. So nurse that in the responsible
How did you
matter.
get mudslides? I know how old you were on that trip, so how did you get them?
I don't know what the drinking age is in the Bahamas, but my parents ordered them.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay. All right. Good.
Maybe they just felt bad for me because I was on vacation. I was 20 and on vacation with my parents.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, this tastes like that.
That's awesome.
And only those, way back when, I'm sure were full of tons of calories.
Lots of sugar.
And these are relatively low net carb. Actually, even your version, the double, 2 net carbs.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Go me.
Moving on, Jessica, what do you got for number 5?
I've got 2 for number 5.
Ooh.
It's a white Russian and a black Russian.
You know what that makes me think of?
Dominoes?
No,
Okay.
but sure. And the White Russian by itself makes me think of the Dude Abides, the Big Lebowski. But
Did you drink those in that movie?
yeah,
I don't look.
a lot.
I don't think that movie is great. So I don't have it memorized like you and another one of my friends. Okay?
A lot more than just another one of your friends.
I don't know anybody else that loves that movie as much as you two people.
All right, well, but a lot of other people like it.
I don't doubt that.
Just the way it's written here, White Russian, Black Russian makes me think of that White House Black Market thing that we used to walk past all the time
That's a
in
good store.
Alexandria, Virginia.
it's awesome.
When we lived out in D.C.
It's a really good thing that I was super fluffy in DC because you would have been broke.
Oh my God, there was enough out there that was expensive.
Like the crabs.
Actually, they were cheaper in Florida.
True. All right. The White Russian. This has 1 net carb. So that's exciting. This, you need 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of low carb coffee liqueur, 1 ounce of heavy cream. You're going to fill your glass with ice, pour in the vodka and the coffee liqueur, and stir, and then float the cream on top.
Easy. You don't have to be like an experienced mixologist to handle this one. Anyone can do this one.
That is correct. Even me. For a Black Russian, you need 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of low-carb coffee liqueur. You dump everything in a shaker with ice. You shake, you strain into an ice-filled glass, and then you enjoy it. And so this is basically the same thing as the White Russian, just without the heavy cream.
And if you want to be lazy and not do extra dishes, make it like you made the White Russian and dump
In
it
a mason jar.
Straight in the glass, stir it up, and just drink it, and you just leave out the heavy cream.
Yeah. They're good. Both of them taste great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you have next?
What are we up to? Number 6. Okay. Number 6, we're calling a Captain Jack. And we actually played with the different names. We're going to call it the Jack Sparrow. It's a take on a blackjack, which is usually made with brandy. But we don't keep a lot of brandy in the house. I'm not a big brandy fan.
Nope.
Neither of you. I got sick on brandy in college.
Did you?
I haven't really had it since.
Why the hell were you drinking it?
Because that's what I could get my hands on freshman year.
What the hell? Where was... Never mind.
We were drinking brandy because we thought we were sophisticated and watching The Matrix. And if that's not a Michigan Tech story, I don't know what else
That's
is.
pretty funny.
If it helps, being college, it wasn't high-end brandy either.
I'm sure that added to your sickness.
It was like bottom shelf blackberry brandy.
Oh,
Yeah, it was bad.
that's nice.
Anyway, this has no brandy, but if you really are a brandy fan, you can use it instead of the alcohol in it. To make our Captain Jack, 2 ounces of rum.
Rum.
1.5 ounces of unsweetened cold brew coffee or just cold strong coffee. Half a teaspoon of cherry water flavoring and, basically Mio.
Yeah. They have every flavor under the sun. They're great.
And then you want lemon twist for garnish. To make this, it's really, really simple. Fill a glass with ice. Fill your shaker with ice. Add everything in the shaker. Shake it up and pour it into your ice-filled glass. Garnish it. Drink. That's it.
Yummy, yummy.
Jess, what's our 7th cocktail?
I don't know. Hold on.
Well, while you're looking, a lot of these, because we've got coffee all over the place. What if you're worried about being wired? What if you're doing this and you have to get up in the morning?
Day drinking is a thing you could do.
You could. But one other thing you can do, and it's getting harder and harder to find, especially McCormick has discontinued theirs, but there is coffee extract now. And you can also do these with decaf coffee, but you do have to be aware that decaf coffee still has caffeine, just less of it. And coffee extract also has caffeine in it, albeit less than actually using cold brew or coffee or espresso, but with that coffee flavor. So they're still going to have caffeine, but you can lower the caffeine content, but you can always go to hell with it and have your caffeinated alcoholic beverage.
Indeed.
Word. All right. Did you find your number 7?
I did find it.
Sweet.
It is a rye cappuccino.
Ooh.
This one is long. Okay. So for this one, you are going to need 2 ounces of cold espresso or strong coffee, 4 ounces of rye whiskey, 1.5 ounce of heavy cream, and 1 ounce of sugar-free chocolate simple syrup. So you're going to put your coffee.
And we like the Torani.
Yeah. They taste pretty good, and they've got like 0 carbs, so they're great.
And you can get it on Amazon.
Amazon, it'll show up the next day. It's fantastic. So you're going to put the coffee, the whiskey, and the simple syrup in a shaker with ice. Shake, strain in a glass, and then float the cream on top. It's really good, and
I thought you said this one was complicated.
Well, it looked longer than it actually is.
It's not complicated.
It's really not.
No.
Most of these aren't complicated, except for that thing that you made there at the beginning of tonight. That looked a little bit.
Wait, my cocktail that we haven't done the recipe for yet?
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, that is probably the most complicated one.
It is. It's got a lot of steps.
But
it's worth it. It's fun. It's fun to look at.
Both glasses of it.
Exactly.
But that's not what I'm doing next.
What are you doing next?
I'm doing a Mexicafe.
That's fun.
Yeah. This is
Can you drink it with tacos?
I'm sure. Why not? Because it's very much a take on a Mexican coffee or a Mexican hot chocolate. To make this, you need 9 ounces of cold brew coffee or strong coffee or whatever you got. No one's going to be judging you. Coffee. 3 ounces of heavy cream, 3 ounces of sugar-free simple syrup. Again, we use the Torani one, and are we sponsored by Torani? No, it's just what we get because it's easily available because we got a buttload of kids, and
we don't have time to go to the store. People,
Amazon delivers it.
They show up.
I mean, we do go shopping at the store, but the local stores don't have a wide variety of the sugar-free stuff. Nope. But we can get it online. There are other manufacturers out there. Anyway, to all of that, you want to add 6 ounces of aged rum, and then also you're going to need 4 cinnamon sticks. So you put the coffee, the heavy cream, the rum, and 2 of the 4 cinnamon sticks in a cocktail shaker with ice. Shake it, strain it into 2 ice-filled glasses, unless you just want to drink it by yourself, and garnish with the remaining cinnamon sticks. You use those cinnamon sticks to stir it around. That's it.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Drink it with tacos.
Breakfast burritos.
Breakfast burritos. There we go. Breakfast of champions.
You know what? This one? Perfect. Breakfast burritos on a Saturday or a Sunday or a holiday weekend.
Holiday weekend for you.
If one of us doesn't have to work on MLK Day.
I do.
Yeah. There's President's Day. Oh, wait. You have to work that one too.
I don't have to work on Black Friday, though.
Jessica, we've left out one of the classic coffee cocktails, which is your standard Irish coffee.
Yum, yum.
But kind of boring because everybody does it.
Yeah.
So while we were debating, we got to do something, but we don't want to do the same old, same old. What did we come up with to fill the requirement of an Irish coffee without doing Irish coffee?
Irish cold brew.
Ooh. How trendy. Do you have like a goofy little hat to go with it?
I don't know. I'm
Thick
sure we've got some leprechaun around here somewhere.
I'm sure we do from like track
we
and
have
everything
like
else.
4 kids, and
And
they are into holidays. So.
and I do all sorts of goofy stuff for my track and cross country teams.
You do.
Yeah. I know I have green knee socks from coaching.
I had on Shamrock socks yesterday. Remember?
Oh, I remember.
Okay, Irish cold brew needs 2 ounces of Irish whiskey.
Or more.
Yeah, well, 6 ounces.
Depends on how productive you want to be that day.
I mean, if you're drinking it at night, you need more than 2. If you're drinking it during the day, 2 is probably good. I don't
what's going
know,
on.
whatever's happening in your life.
You might be marching in a parade in Chicago in a non-COVID year.
6 ounces of cold brew coffee, 2 ounces of heavy cream, and 1 teaspoon of Swerve.
The confectioner sweetener one, because Swerve makes other ones, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is like the powdered sugar one?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
your sugar alternative, or a confectioner sugar alternative that's not actually sugar.
That's a story for a different day.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to fill your pint glass with ice and then add everything and stir it up, and then you're going to drink it. It's going to be amazeballs.
Yeah. It is.
Neat. Low carb Irish coffee. Life is good. Woo.
Well, speaking of amazeballs,
Okay. Yeah.
the last but not least
This is a lot.
is number 10, last but not least, is the Breakfast Bell. This was my cocktail tonight, the one that freaked out Jessica. The one takes a little bit of, metaphorically speaking, takes some balls to drink.
Yep.
It definitely looks weird.
Yep.
It's different, but this is a low carb take on the classic hangover cure. Although I think it's more likely to cause a hangover because you have a few of these. But it's a little bit of everything. So let me run through this, and then I'll get into tasting notes on it and whatnot. Are you using your straw to eat the rest of your mudslide?
It's just foam. And I figure it's got alcohol in
There's so many Top Chef jokes to make right now about you
Foam.
eating the foam.
It's not a pea puree, though, so...
No,
that's
it's not a pea
exciting.
puree. It's just foam. All right. The Breakfast Bell. 1.5 teaspoons of sugar-free maple syrup. We have, I don't know, it's like Vermont, some whatever crap. It's sugar-free maple syrup.
And you
get
know what?
at
It
grocery
tastes
store.
amazing.
It does taste the same. 1 ounce of espresso or strong coffee. In our case, it's strong coffee. 1 ounce of heavy cream. 2 ounces of bourbon. 1 egg separated.
That's important.
That's when you separate the white from the yolk. Keep both parts, but just keep them separate. You're going to need seltzer water, just plain unflavored seltzer water. And you're going to need sriracha. Yes. Of unknown quantity. And I'll explain that in a minute. Pour your bourbon, your coffee, your cream, your syrup, and your egg white. Not the yolk, just the white. And the sriracha, and you're going to do the sriracha to taste, into your shaker. No ice. Just those things in the cocktail shaker. Dry shake, which when they say dry shake, they just mean shake it up without the ice. Then, and what you're trying to do here is create an emulsion.
Okay.
And bring everything together. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to add the ice and shake for 1 to 2 minutes or until your arms give out. It's a nice little workout. You're burning off some calories that you're going to consume in a minute anyway.
Sure.
Go with it. I mean, but really what we're doing is just, we're the Red Arrow Health and Wellness. We do a lot of health, and part of that is mental health and just kicking back and enjoying each other's company. And we do enjoy cocktails and celebrating our workout victories.
Cheekbones, people.
Cheekbones.
Cheekbones.
All right. So you did your 1 to 2 minutes of shaking. You strain it into a chilled glass. Then you let it sit in the fridge for 2 to 4 minutes. After that, you pull it out and you slowly, ever so slowly, pour in your seltzer water to create a foamy head. And you're going to do that by aiming really right for the center and really just drizzling it in. And you're going to get a nice foamy head on this thing. go up if you're brave enough. Go up past the rim of the glass too and create that
see
bubble.
how tall you can make it. I think it would I think it could be amazing.
Then you place your egg yolk in a shot glass with a dot of sriracha on it. Or in my case, I did a dot of sriracha and a quick shake of everything except the bagel.
Everything but.
Oh, everything but the bagel. Yeah, that stuff. Now, I've thought about doing this. I didn't do it tonight. I didn't do it in the past. Is to do the depth charge version, which is actually you take your shot glass and your tall Collins glass or pint glass and drop in your egg yolk. I just did the egg yolk as a separate shot, which you already heard because I did it while we were recording.
And
Scared the crap out of my wife. Of course, we got to add in, this is raw eggs.
That's exactly it. It's a raw egg, people.
Listen.
It's slightly grody.
Well, there's the risk of salmonella.
I mean, you're a grown man. You're probably not going to get salmonella
Whatever.
poisoning.
But that risk is out there. But, live dangerously.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever. If that's danger, is having a raw egg.
Danger is my middle name. Watch me eat this egg.
Reach me, eat this egg in the sriracha laced cocktail. Actually, it really does taste good. It does remind me of some of those crazy hangover cures and stuff.
For sure.
The egg by itself was
The red eye drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a version of that. It's cold, it's creamy, there's the coffee, but then you get to hit a sriracha on the back end. And it's interesting.
Okay.
As
I
you
will
make
take
faces.
your word for it
Yeah.
because I'm never going to drink this. I'm not that adventurous because of the egg.
Fine. Then
I
wash
look
it down with a
like a
rye
clown.
cappuccino.
Okay.
All right. So those are our 10 low carb coffee cocktails.
Yay!
Now you're all jazzed up and drunk, so
And drunk.
don't
There we
drive.
go. No, don't drive. Don't do that.
Don't drive, but
people.
you're wide awake, so you can listen to some more of our episodes.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. And we needed something fun because we've done some holiday episodes and we did resolutions and all that. Last week we talked about behavior.
Oh.
So, you know what? We needed a cocktail recipe
Yep, it was time.
episode. So, here we go. Well, I'd say cheers, but we both consumed our
They're all
cocktails.
gone.
So, before we go, let's take a moment and give a shout out to all our Red Arrow Challenge champions.
Yay!
The Red Arrow Challenge is our weekly multi-sport competition that does a whole wide array of athletic endeavors broken out by age group. You can compete in any of the categories or our composite points. It's free to participate. Go to our Linktree account. You can find the link right in our bio of our Instagram account. Free to create a username, record everything you do, put it in each week. The link for that is also on our, you can find it on our Instagram account. And we give a shout out to the champions each week for each category in each age group. For the most recent week,
Swimming.
nobody in any age group.
Oh, getting
Lame.
cold. Running.
9 and under, Easy E. 10 to 19, Soleil. 20 to 29, Lexi with 2 X's. 30 to 39, Wildcat. 40 to 49, Coach T. 50 to 59, Teddy. 68, nobody older than that. And for our featured members, which are you and me.
Walking.
9 and under, Easy E. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, Husky Mike with a I instead of a Y in Husky. 30 to 39, Me West. 40 to 49, Coffee Dude. 50 to 59, Mary Mary. 60 to 69, Kilogram Ill. Featured members, me.
Biking on road.
Having a bike trainer really helped with this one. Loving my bike trainer. My butt's sore, but I'm loving my bike trainer.
That's awesome. Good.
9
for
and
you.
under, nobody. 10 to 19, nobody. 20 to 29, our champion was H. Kaner 305. 30 to 39, Cyclopath. 40 to 49, Coach T. 50 to 59, nobody. 60 to 69, Kilogram Ill. And for our featured members, me.
Biking off road.
Not a whole lot of this. I'm guessing these members are Fat Tire fans because I've seen a lot of that showing up online right now. Because it's cold, it's snowy, but in Michigan, that's Fat Tire bike trail weather.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. 30 to 39, Dirt Devil, and 40 to 49, Cyclone.
Sit down paddling.
Kind of like swimming. Not a lot of this. Actually, swimming was nothing, but there's some of this going on, but not a lot. 20 to 29, H. Gainer 305, and 30 to 39, Rando 7.
Stand up pedaling.
20 to 29, Gator Boy. 30 to 39, May West. Sorry, not May West, Me West. 40 to 49, Coffee Dude. 50 to 59, Mary Mary. 60 to 69, Sunny D. Sunny D must have some sunny weather.
Cross country skiing.
20 to 29, Husky Mike. 30 to 39, Alberto. 40 to 49, El Tiburon 95. And, ooh, shocker here, upset alert. 50 to 59, after weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of the same two guys always being on top, one of them was dethroned. 50 to 59, Elvis.
Okay. Awesome.
Elvis
Great
has dethroned Big Juan 64.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Skating.
20 to 29, Gator Boy. 30 to 39 was a tie between SB Tom and SB Nikki. 40 to 49, Coach T. 50 to 59, AR Miller. And out of our featured members, me.
Hockey.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja. 10 to 19, Soleil. 20 to 29, Husky Mike. 30 to 39, Moose Man. 40 to 49, Coach T. 50 to 59, Herb. Nobody older than that. And for featured members, me.
Points.
You know, we got a comment this last week. When you say points, one of our listeners said you sound like Pinky from Pinky and the Brain.
I will just have to believe that person because I've never actually seen an episode of that cartoon.
Our kids
but I
have.
do
They
know that
love
it exists. Well, good.
They absolutely love it.
I know that it was super popular when we were like in high school, but I was done with cartoons by then. So,
Well, they
except
have
for
some great
Blue's
stuff.
Clues, that was good.
Have you not heard their song where they read off all the titles or all the names of all the countries in the world? Although now the world map has changed since then.
No.
Yeah. The kids loved it.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch countries while I'm watching cartoons.
It's funny.
Okay. I'll believe you.
Anyway, points.
Points.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja. 10 to 19, Soleil. 20 to 29, Husky Mike. 30 to 39, Me West. 40 to 49, Coach T. 50 to 59, Mary Mary. 60 to 69, Kilogram Ill. And for our featured members, shocker, it was me.
Good job, husband.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But how's the diet going?
It's going really well.
How are the cheekbones going?
They're out there, and I can see them, and it's a big deal to me. So, yay me.
Yeah, you.
Yay me.
Well, are you feeling wired?
No,
Good. But you had a coffee drink.
I did. But
Yeah. It's been a long week.
it has been a long week.
Well,
Let's wrap this week up.
let's wrap it up. Even though this is going to post on Monday, our episodes always post on Mondays now. Originally, they posted on Sundays. But we're recording this before Monday. So we're going to wrap it up. It's been a long week. Hopefully this leads into a great week for everybody else and also a great week for us.
Yeah. This has been another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast.
Jessica, it's been fun.
Loads of fun.
Till next week.
Bye.
Bye.